We don't have an intro to this podcast. Maybe we'll have one later. And we're back. Hello. This is the Film Crew podcast. My name is Quan.
And I'm Gasper.
And the Olympics are here, I believe, right? The 23rd?
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
pretty cool.
the Tokyo Olympics, that kind of sucked because I went to Tokyo in 2018. I don't remember if it was 2018 or 2019. I went to Tokyo and everyone was doing like they were making such a big deal out of the Tokyo Stadium because they were rebuilding and modernizing it. And I'm sure it cost a lot of money. I'm obviously because it's this Tokyo Stadium for the Tokyo Olympics. Fucking, but it
Right.
kind of sucks because 2020 happened and they had to
hmm
cancel. So they were like, okay, fuck it, let's do it next year. And then 2021 happened and they were just like, yeah, no, we're just not gonna. Yeah, that really sucks because it probably did cost a lot of money and everyone was so excited for it,
hmm
just for it to not happen. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting year for the Olympics. Just watched the highlights for the men's volleyball between
nice.
USA and Russia.
Okay,
And there's no fans in the stadium
that must
or
be
in
surreal.
wherever. Yeah, it's weird to see. But there's other sports that do have crowds. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's the restrictions and or the rules, I guess.
From what
But
I
anyways,
From what I know,
oh, go
it's
ahead.
oh yeah. From what I know, it's only Tokyo residents who are allowed to go. That's I don't know if
Mm,
that's true. That's just from what I heard. It's like non-foreign because obviously they can't go to Japan. Very heavily
huh?
restricted. But
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, um, this is the Film Crew podcast,
yes, not
and
Olympic
today
podcast.
we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be talking about movie trailers.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So this past couple weeks, I think we've gotten many trailers for both movies and TV shows.
yeah.
So we're gonna try and talk about more of the films, but we'll throw out the TV shows. And
Okay.
yeah. So starting off, we got a movie called Turning Red
Turning Red.
by Pixar, Disney, and Pixar.
Okay,
So
it's
it's
com
I have no idea what it's about. It's an
it
animation film, and it has something to do with a red panda, and
okay.
yeah.
Completely not what I expected. You said turning red, and I was like, oh, it's like turning communist. What? And then you said Disney Pixar. I was like, oh yeah, there's no way in hell they're gonna make a movie like that. But Red Panda, that's pretty interesting. Kind of like Kung Fu Panda,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's a girl who turns into a red panda because she gets embarrassed or something. I'm not too sure. The teaser trailer right now, so there's really no story. It's just
Yeah,
a quick scene with her in a classroom. She gets embarrassed and she turns into that and runs away back to her home.
well, it's probably a more of a cultural piece then, because I don't know anything about it, so I can assume that it's from like Eastern Asia or Southeastern
Yeah,
Asia.
this seems like it. Yeah, and it's a different animation than what Pixar usually
Right.
does. Um, it looks like they're expanding their art
Okay.
in a way that if you go to like probably their biggest movies like Toy Story, how Toy Story 1 to Toy Story 4, how much character designs changed to make them look more realistic.
Right.
In this one, it seems like they adopted a different art style and they're using it, and it seems like that's what Pixar is going to start doing from now on is just
Okay.
expanding their art styles. So, I mean, it looks pretty cool.
All right.
Uh, once there's an actual trailer, we'll probably talk about it more. Um, moving on, there is a TV show uh for stars. It's called Heels. It seems pretty
Heels.
interesting. It's actually about wrestling,
Oh, okay.
like
Oh,
Midwest, like a small wrestling.
okay. Like the heels, like the face and the heels. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. And it stars Stephen Amell, who is really popular by playing Green Arrow
Right.
in the CW TV series. And yeah, that's an actual trailer and it looks pretty good. Really, really dramatic and really well acted so
Right.
far based off the 2 minutes that has been released. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to that one
Yeah.
because I mean, as a kid watching wrestling and even like recent, like just seeing like the highlights and stuff, we don't really get to see what happens
Yeah.
backstage other than the scripted stuff.
Uh.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, there was movies like The Wrestler back in 2008 with Mickey Rourke and all these documentaries about the 80s
You also had
wrestlers and whatnot, but
think I think 2019 it was the wrestler Paige had her own.
oh,
Was it
mhm.
2019? 2020? Around that?
Might have been yeah, something like that. Yeah. She played it. Did she play herself?
Yeah. I think so, yeah. Uh
Yeah. So seems like a little more dramatic compared to like the movies so far that we've gotten.
right.
Um so we talked about a trailer called
Yes.
Pig starring Nicolas Cage a little while back. So I went
Oh,
ahead and saw
okay.
the trailer
Okay.
and I thought it was going to be a John Wick type movie with a pig being
Yes.
in place of the dog and Nicolas Cage being in place of Keanu Reeves, but it's not. It's a more dramatic film, and he pretty much someone steals his pig and he goes on a hunt into the big city because it's a truffle pig,
Right.
and that's how he makes his money. He lives out in the woods, and he has to go into the city looking for his pig,
Right.
and it's a Nicolas Cage movie, so
Well, it's a
don't
little bit
expect.
more like I guess it's a little bit well, John Wick obviously his dog died and that's like sentimental value. But I can understand a little bit more about the pig just because truffle pigs are really valued. I think truffles are
Hmm.
super expensive too. So I could see
Yeah,
it being dramatic.
yeah. But there's also, I mean, Nicolas Cage brings in that emotional value, like you're saying, because it's like his pig.
Yeah.
Like it seems like he's raised it from a small piglet to what it is now, and
Right.
for someone to steal it, um, it just seems like I don't know, it's gonna be a very dramatic movie.
Okay.
So looking forward to that one. Um, Another trailer that just came out this last week is Jackass Forever.
Ah, yes.
And quick side note, we tried making a video about it and we failed.
Internet.
And we didn't. So, yeah, I guess this is going to be our big trailer that we're going to talk about because we're
Yeah.
both interested in this movie and
Yeah.
we actually had its own separate little I don't know, like
Segment.
30
Yeah.
minute like video
Analysis.
about it. So, what do you want to talk about the
Well, right
about
off
this
the
trailer?
bat, you have the Jackass Forever, and you know it starts off with like past scenes, kind of,
Yep.
I guess, to bring emotional attachment to the Jackass franchise. It has been like what 11 years since they made a Jackass movie, and then they bring
Yeah.
in all the new stuff and possibly new like people to have the whole torch giving so they could be replaced because obviously none of the old cast is young.
Mm.
So
But looks like they're still willing to do a lot of the stunts.
yeah,
So
what was that in the
yeah,
trail? Was
it
it in the trailer, or because I remember reading about it and it someone said like I think it was Steve who said Knoxville says it's okay to have concussions until you're 50 and he's turning 50 this year. So it's like, okay, well, I guess that would mean Johnny Knoxville isn't going to do any more stunts next year because he's not
probably
as
after
young.
this movie, he's probably done. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see a new cast um after this, like kind of based off of them, like almost like a TV show, kind of.
Yeah.
What was it MTV that were doing that was doing the show back before they even made the movie and stuff?
I think it was either MTV or Spike.
Okay. So either one, I'm pretty sure I could see them picking up Jackass again
Yeah.
and making a new show with a new cast, and whether it fails or succeeds, I mean, it's still gonna make money
Yeah.
and it'll probably go on for a season or two. But
It's hard to
yeah,
fail
it seems like
Jackass. Was
with a new cast though, I feel like a lot of people are gonna hate the fact that you're not gonna have Steve-O or Knoxville or Pontius.
yeah, but I
It,
don't
it's
know.
it's gonna be it's gonna be hard to top it.
Yeah.
They left such a big impact, I think, in the stunt world that I don't see any other group of cast trying to or being able to reach the level they did.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where we are in a new generation. The last one came out in 2010, and we were still in high school. Now we're adults and we're aging, and we have this newer audience coming in. So maybe for them, if they're into that kind of stuff, it'll be much easier for them to watch than it is for people with sentimental value for the older cast. Uh, but at the end of the day, it's really hard to fuck up Jackass because all you do is get hurt or do nasty stuff.
Right, yeah. Which we'll see if they're in this movie if they're capable of doing that
Yeah,
compared to the original cast, because the original cast is pretty crazy with
yeah,
their with what they were able to do. So to find another uh like Dave England,
yeah,
for example, is gonna be tough, I think.
yeah.
But we'll see. Anything else you want to add?
Well, I didn't want to bring
I
it
mean it
up, but the main reason why I like Jackass is the fact that I could watch it and there'd be no chance that anyone can get offended because it's the people who are willing to get hurt. How can you really get offended by that? Uh, Upon further inspection and research, I did find out that a group did get offended with the trailer. Uh, Apparently PETA was mad because of the bear, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, that's fine, I guess, but like, they were just like, oh, it's fine if people get hurt, but why are you doing this to the animals? I was like, yo, do you not care at all about the person sitting down with honey covered everywhere? Like, obviously,
yeah,
yeah,
I really don't see how what they're gonna do with that stunt.
yeah,
I don't know if like they're gonna have him try and escape or what?
Yeah.
Because that's pretty crazy. That's a really crazy stunt to do. But yeah, I don't see why. I mean, by any chance, do you know if PETA has been involved in all of their movies? Because they've used animals in almost every in all their movies actually.
This is the first time I heard PETA get annoyed by Jackass with this
That's
trailer.
interesting. That's
So,
really interesting. I feel like this is the first trailer I've ever seen of a Jackass movie though.
oh
I know
yeah,
3 had a lot of hype to it. Like with Steve-O and the bungee
yeah.
and the porta potty. I know that was a big thing in commercials. But I feel like this one, I don't know. Since YouTube is such a big thing and
Yeah.
you can rewatch it over and over and over again. I don't know.
We'll have to see
But
anyways.
yeah, I'm down to go see that in the movie theaters. Film crew at the movies.
October, that can work.
Um, Speaking of technology though, and how it's kind of becoming a thing in films, there's a movie called Demonic that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
And it so the story, it seems like there's a main character and her mom is in the hospital because she had an illness. I don't know exactly what,
Okay.
but they have her, since she can't really leave her bed,
Yeah.
they have her in a VR. And something
Okay.
happened in the VR where it something evil happened. I'm not too sure. So they have the daughter, which is the main character,
Right.
go into the VR,
Okay.
and it seems like there's a demon in the VR that gets a hold of the main character, and at that point she can't tell what's reality and what's virtual. And
Okay.
that's kind of like when the horror starts happening, that the demon exits the VR and starts haunting her throughout her
Right.
life. And I really like this movie from based off of the trailer so
Yeah.
far because it's a take of like an old story that kind of that's been around for like decades already, about demon possession.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it has its new like formula with technology.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna bring a lot of new audience to horror with the technology side to it.
Yeah.
And
We'll have to see on that. I guess at the end of the day, it's getting close to the spooky time, so you'll see a lot more
yeah,
horror
it is.
trailers. I do know there. I think it was Unfriended or something like that, and the dark web, Unfriended dark web, that tried to incorporate technology in the form of like the Zoom or the Discord, or it was like Facebook, whatever, FaceTime,
Yeah.
and that
Hmm.
they both kind of flopped. So we'll have
Yeah.
to see how they do this movie, just because it is a new technology that's being added into a
Right.
movie.
Well, with those, I feel like at that point when those movies were released, I feel like the found footage point of view camera was kind of starting to get dated
Yeah.
with like Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity.
Right.
I feel like those kind of succeeded because there was nothing like those type of movies.
Yeah.
And then as it went on and on and on, like the Unfriended and the Dark Web movies, they didn't do as good because it was like almost the same thing over and over.
Right.
But um but yeah, I mean a horror movie's a horror movie, especially in summer and closer to Halloween, you start getting more viewers and more
Yeah.
audience and more money. So yeah, I don't know when that one's released though. I didn't check. But switching on to a different genre, more lighthearted, Vacation Friends. Have you
Okay.
heard of it?
Sounds kind of like Euro Trip. If you're gonna have to if you're gonna tell me because I don't know a goddamn thing about what this movie is. If you ask me what it's about, I could see a group of friends literally just going on a road trip, and it's like a coming of age movie, probably like kind of like exactly like Euro Trip. Unless you're talking about that one trailer I remember where they age like really fast.
Oh no, that one's called Old. That
Okay,
one's gonna be another horror movie. This one's a comedy.
okay,
So a couple are getting married
okay.
and they're having their whole reception and everything.
Is
And
John
a
Cena
truck
in it?
comes
Is
in.
it the John Cena movie?
John Cena
It's just
is
John
in.
Cena movie, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So this movie looks like a lot of fun at the same time. A lot of cringe, I think, is gonna happen throughout the movie.
Yeah,
Overall, it looks like a pretty funny movie. I was laughing pretty hard throughout the trailer, and yeah, you know about it. I'll let whoever's listening to it take a try and watch that trailer because it's pretty funny and it has John Cena in it, and yeah,
yeah.
it's a pretty rated R movie. So
If
yeah,
but well, were you laughing at the movie or with the movie? Were you laughing because
well
it was
that
funny or because it was cringe?
I was laughing because it was funny, but I can see how it can get pretty cringy throughout
Okay.
for some viewers.
Well, we'll have to see then.
Yeah. So I went to go see Black Widow in the theaters, and they released the final trailer. Excuse me.
Black Widow.
They released the final trailer for Snake Eyes,
Oh, okay.
and it's a lot better than the first trailer.
Right.
Um, I know I talked about how the origin story was going to be a little different just because of the race.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Uh, Based off of this trailer, it looks action packed. It looks fun. It looks
Right.
like they're going with the origin story that he should get. And yeah, all the actors look like they're having fun. All the stunt doubles, I'm sure, had a lot of fun making this movie. So, am I going to watch it in the movie theaters? Probably not. Am I going to watch it eventually?
Probably.
Probably yes. Other than that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's about it that I have for that one.
Yeah.
I think we got about three more trailers.
Okay.
So one I want to talk about is Dune, and that's Dune,
Okay.
Dune, like based off of the book.
Right.
And unfortunately, I've never seen the original Dune back from the 80s, nor have I read the book that it's based off of.
This is the first time I'm hearing about it. Like Dune. Period. This is. Yeah.
So this movie is gonna be one of the. It's gonna be probably one of those movies where it's super influential to film, in
Okay.
my opinion. Um, if you guys don't know the story from what I'm getting from the trailer or the main trailer that's been released not too long ago, I think it was released on Wednesday. Uh, it has a main character who's having dreams about a girl from another planet, and this is set in the future, of course.
Right.
and he tries asking his dad, who's pretty much like the general of the army, to go help, and they don't listen to him. And when they finally do, this other alien race or something attacks them and is trying to just wipe everybody out from both of those planets.
Okay.
That's what
Alrighty.
I'm getting from the trailer. I'm not too sure what's going on. Um, Definitely check out this trailer because I think it's gonna be a masterpiece of a film. Like
Well,
when we say films, I know we're including a lot of movies as
yeah.
well that aren't like, like that film that's supposed to be meant to be just film.
Yeah.
This is a film. This is
Okay.
gonna be a work of art that I think everyone's gonna enjoy. Or everyone might just hate it. It
Yeah.
might just be like one of those movies where it's like, no, it's nothing like the book and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But visually, like really good. Actors are pretty pretty top notch actors for throughout like other movies and stuff.
Well, I do have,
Uh
based on what you said, it sounds like one of those teenage heartthrob, those teenage romance movies like Twilight. I would hope that it's not like that, but who
now that you
knows?
throw that out there, I mean, I'm hoping it's not either, but
It's what it is.
it looks it doesn't seem like it is. It seems like it's focusing more on a war with like kind of like that romance being kind of like the subplot or vice versa, I guess.
Yeah.
But they're pretty based off the trailer, they're pretty equal
Okay.
for the stories. Um but yeah, check that trailer out. We have a Walking Dead trailer for the
Oh my
final
god.
season.
They're still
And
making Walking Dead?
and yeah, exactly. So it's bittersweet in a way. Bitter that it's taking this long to end the show, and sweet that it is ending. Cause I mean, I stopped what I was a pretty hardcore Walking Dead fan.
Yeah.
When the show started, I wasn't a comic book fan at the time. I did eventually
Oh, you cut out.
actually after like a few seasons that I got into the comic books and went way ahead of the show. Um, I stopped at season 7, like halfway through.
Yeah.
I couldn't anymore after that.
Yeah.
It's just too much. The
Yeah.
introduction of Negan was probably the greatest. In my opinion, probably one of the greatest uh moments in TV history
Okay.
because it was like pretty much pulled out of the comic book. But
Yeah.
after that, it just kind of went downhill, in my opinion.
I just got bored of it, honestly. After whatever season Glenn died, I was like, well, I'm not invested anymore. I don't even
Yeah. So like spoiler, I mean, starting on season 11. So if you guys are getting spoiled in this, sorry. Or in the future, when someone wants to get into The Walking Dead and
yeah.
they hear this on accident,
I recommend
season
don't
s-
watching it. Cause
season 6 finale ends with the introduction of Negan
yeah,
and him killing a member of the group we follow throughout
yeah,
the show. Season 7, episode 1 shows who they actually kill,
yeah,
and it's Glenn and Abraham.
yeah,
And the Abraham, fine. I mean, he dies a little earlier in the show, or in the comics. But Glenn dies exactly the same way in the comics, but that works versus in the TV show it doesn't. A lot of people stopped watching because of that reason. I don't know why. Because
It
I mean, it's a big thing in the comic books, and it's supposed to help make the character of Negan who he is and introduce such a bad guy. And I don't know.
I it's the shock value. I can see them just not caring about making Negan bad as much as they want to shock audiences with the death of Glenn. It doesn't take a minute to die when you have your brains literally slipping out of your head. Let's be real here. It doesn't take that
Yeah,
long. At that point, I was like,
yeah,
"Oh my god, they really just want to boost ratings," and you could
yeah.
kind of like tell because in season one, I don't remember who directed it, the name, but the person who directed season one just, I guess there was like some issue and he had to leave, bringing someone not as good, and then he was doing fine until eventually it ended up just not being fine.
Yeah, so I might get the names wrong, but Frank Darabont did the first season,
Yeah,
from what I can remember. He might have done the second and third, because those are probably the best seasons of all the Walking Dead.
right.
After he left for whatever reason, I feel like it was creative differences from what I read.
Okay.
And Frank Darabont is a fantastic actor. If you
Yeah,
guys don't know him, he actually directed a lot of Stephen King films like The Green Mile, The Mist,
yeah,
and The Shawshank Redemption, I believe, are the three films that he did.
yeah,
And we got Scott Gimple as the showrunner after that, and he's the one that killed off Carl and killed off Glenn and killed off a lot of main characters that weren't needed to get killed off.
yeah,
After his leaving, I believe Alexa Kang became showrunner, and she kind of saved what was left of the show for season 8 and 9. But for it to go 2 more seasons after that, I
yeah.
think is very unnecessary.
I,
Um, for comic books, the story can go on forever, in
yeah,
my opinion, because I think writing is a lot easier when it comes to, just writing and having a illustrator
yeah,
draw it out versus an actor who's been acting for over 11 years
yeah.
having to do the same
Character.
character for that long and looking tired and probably already done with the character.
Yeah,
For example, the character of Maggie, I can't think of her actual name, but she left the show at
yeah,
one point, and now she's back for this season. And it's kind of like, I mean, you left the show at such a high point, and then you're coming back. Kind of shows that like they were already uninterested. And I think her TV show failed, so I'm pretty sure that's why she came back as well.
I
So
all I know is from what I heard after who directed the first. It was God, I forgot
Frank
his name.
Darabont.
Yeah, after he left, because he brought in a bunch of actors that he worked with from his other movies into The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
when he left, everyone just stopped giving a fuck. Everyone was like, "Oh, fuck!
Yeah, I can
I
see that.
worked because of
Yeah.
him."
That's so funny. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. Sad that it's ending. Happy that it's ending. Either way, I mean, it had to end at some point.
I did hear another.
Did it have to be 11 seasons? But
From what I
no.
heard, Apparently this is like rumors, but they did it just so they can get as much money as possible, which isn't really a rumor. But I think from what I heard, they were actually trying to like stretch it out as long as possible, just to
Well,
get
that's
as much money as
odd.
possible.
That's great. Whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, am I gonna see the series finale? Maybe just to see how it ends.
I'm probably
But I'm not gonna go back and watch 4 seasons and
yeah.
try and continue following it
I'm gonna watch a
because I don't
person.
think it's worth it.
I'm gonna watch a person review the series finale.
I'll probably try and review it. Why not? Me not knowing anything that happened between season 7 and 10, try and review a
Yeah.
series finale. Um, our final trailer
Okay.
for this episode is a prequel to Army of the Dead, which we did a whole 2 episodes about. It was
Alrighty.
a it was a good movie. Army of Thieves is the name of this movie.
Okay.
It's a prequel starring I'm not gonna say the actor's name because I have no idea how to pronounce it.
All right.
But it's the safecracker
Yeah.
from Army of the Dead. And his kind of his origin story where he was before Army of the Dead happened. And yeah, he's actually directing it
Okay.
and Zack Snyder's producing it. So I mean,
Yeah, we'll have to see. I
we're,
don't
I
know.
haven't seen it. I haven't seen the teaser. It's a teaser trailer, so it's not going to give too much
Yeah.
away. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. Cause I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I
Yeah.
mean, was it necessary?
Probably not. Let's
Uh,
be real here.
Probably not. I didn't really expect him to have his a prequel story.
Yeah.
We kind of had it like an idea where he came from or and who he is.
Yeah.
Um, is it worth it to watch it? Why not? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Army of the Dead. It seems like it might have the same style of filming of Army of the Dead, so
Yeah.
I'm I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm still waiting for the sequel, which I think was greenlit by Netflix and confirmed by Zack Snyder. So maybe this is another um what's the word? Another
Who knows? I didn't even expect this many movies to come out from that one movie. That would be a one and done thing.
yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if zombies are even coming out in this one.
There's no way, right? Because for zombies to come out in Army of Thieves, that means they would have to know about zombies. But the first time
That's
zombies got
true.
released, yeah, there's unless he just so happened to do a safe crack with a zombie in it and he ultimately fails. That's my theory if there are zombies. Yeah.
Well, anyways, um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Supposed to be released this year, I think. So
Already. Damn. So like less than a
yeah,
year?
I think it was being filmed. Um, I think even before. Might not even have that high of a budget compared to
Yeah.
the other one. But anyways, these are the trailers. You heard our opinions. Is there anything else that you need to let everybody know, Quan?
Uh, we got my usual conclusion of, hey, we got stuff here. Oh, might as well just reiterate that on YouTube, not on Spotify, we have timestamps. So if you don't want to listen to a certain segment, that is a tool available for you. We also got our own YouTube channels, Gaspar underscore the underscore creature, Dury Quan and Quan is Gaming, a lot of Instagram, no Twitter stuff. We do have a Twitter, but we're just not gonna. It'll just be a thing. I just hit my hand on the
Oh.
table. Podcast stuff, and that's all I have. That was my conclusion.
All right, I think we're all done then.
All right. In that case,
So once again, we're the Film Crew Podcast, and
my name is Quan,
I'm Gasper.
and we'll see you all next time. We also don't have an outro either. We'll probably have one soon.